always occurs to me on Mother's Day that each of us have different experiences of our mothers. Uh, um, my experience of my mom uh, was absolutely wonderful. I said many times, as I observed other friends of mine's moms, that some of their moms were pretty cool, but my mom was the best. I could not have made a better choice of who I wanted to be born to other than Norma Jean Anderson. Not only do you and I, have different moms, but it has occurred to me that my mother was the mother of four children. My brother Chuck, he became Chuck. He was born as Laverne William Anderson Jr., and he was called Checky during his childhood. And then one of his junior high school girlfriends said that Checky's a little boy's name and you're not a little boy anymore. So I'm going to start calling you Chuck. And then other friends started calling him Chuck, and eventually and begrudgingly, we all stopped calling him Checky and started calling him Chuck. Then I was born 16 months after him. And then my sister Rhonda, 16 months after me, and my sister Crystal, 16 months after Rhonda. And so it looks like all of us had the same mother. But we talk about and we understand here at Unity that everything is our experience of it. Life for you is not the same life for me. My life is my experience of life, and yours is your experience of life. And so with the four Anderson children, although it appears as though we all had the same mother, the truth is we all had our own experience of Norma Jean Anderson as our mother. And so my brother, the firstborn, during the first 16 months of his life, he had mom all to himself. She was so happy to have her first child, her baby boy. And she delighted in him, her and daddy. And he got all of their focus and all of their attention. And they were in life where they were in life. My mom was very young when she married and very young when she had her children. And so when my brother was born, my mother was about to become the first certified school teacher in Springfield, Illinois, that was not white skinned. She was the first certified teacher in Springfield that was a person of color. My brother was born to a woman who was set to make history in the city of Springfield, Illinois. And she was applauded by so many. And everyone had great faith that she was just at the beginning of going places and really making something remarkable of her life. At any rate, he had all of her attention until one day she gave birth to her second child, also a son, who she named Carlos because in her first grade, she had a Spanish speaking boyfriend whose name was Carlos. And she had always said from the time she was in first grade, if I ever am blessed to have a son, I'm naming him Carlos. Well, when my brother was born, and my mother told my dad, I want to name him Carlos after my first grade boyfriend. My dad said, oh no, that will have to wait until we have a second boy. But this first boy is going to be named after me. That's Laverne William Anderson Jr. So my brother got that name. And when I was born, my mom was like, oh, great. I get to name him after my first grade boyfriend. So I was Carlos. And his last name was Wade, W-A-D-E. My mom wanted to have my middle name be Wade, Carlos Wade. And my dad said, now that's a bit much too. How about if we come close but don't land on Wade? Let's go for Wayne, Carlos Wayne Anderson. And so my brother, who had all of my mother's attention, was suddenly having her attention split between him and this other little boy that she seemed so happy to have born to her and was getting a lot of her attention. 15 months later, when my sister Wanda was born, my mother was on a fast track for her education. She was not satisfied with having her bachelor's degree, and she was not satisfied just being the first certified non-white teacher in the school system of Springfield, Illinois. She had her eye on a different prize, a higher prize. She wanted to get her master's degree, and she wanted to get her doctorate degree. And she wanted to be on a fast track as she had been on her fast track for getting her bachelor's degree. Mama graduated high school just as she had turned 15 years old. She had skipped 2 grades, and she wanted to fast track her higher education as well. She had a plan to really give her full self to her education. So by the time my sister Rhonda was born, she had a different experience of mom because mom was in a different place in her life. She was now on a fast track for higher education. She spent a whole lot of her time in the library. She spent a whole lot of her time on campus at the university, studying to get this master's degree that was going to be followed by a doctorate degree. So Rhonda, the child who came after me, I had a mom who was home quite a bit, especially in the summer when the school was on break. I had a mom at home with me every single day to put Band-Aids on my cuts, to put Mercurochrome on my scrapes, to kiss my boo-boos and make me know I was always safe because she was always there. Rhonda had a different experience. For her, it was my daddy who put Band-Aids on her cuts and Mercurochrome on her scrapes. It was my daddy who was there all the time to kiss her boo-boos and to remind her he was always there. Well, for a year and a half, Rhonda had all of mama that was available, all of her mom that was available, given how much time her mom was away studying in the library or on campus, taking classes. And suddenly, Rhonda learned to be satisfied with having as much of mom as she had. It was her only experience of mom. She did not have mine, nor did she have Chuck's. And then Crystal was born. And Crystal was born with severe asthma, and she was always on the brink of death. She would have asthma attacks that would cause her to foam at the mouth, and her eyes would roll into the back of her eye sockets. And she had to be sometimes covered with blankets and sometimes put into ice baths. And almost all of the attention went to keeping baby Chrissy alive. And she was rushed to the hospital so many times, and the house was filled so many times with people of God who were laying hands on her and praying for her health and praying for her to make it. And bishops and elders in the church and deacons would be coming by the house all of the time with their anointing oil to anoint her and to declare that she would make it. And so suddenly the attention that Rhonda was receiving from her mom was now pretty much constantly focused on her baby sister, Chrissy, who mom and the rest of the family were giving their all to keep her alive. So, although it looked like mama's 4 children had the same mom, that was not true because who they are is our experience of them. And so I know from plenty of witness evidence that not everybody is like me. Not everybody rejoices over everything about their mom and feels like I have the best mom anybody could ever find on the whole wide world. My sisters, my brother, and myself all had a different mom because we had a different experience of mom. And so if me and my siblings did not have the same mom, of course, me and no others have the same mom. I know from experience, and particularly in all of my decades of ministry, that Mother's Day is a very painful day for many people who had a very different experience of their mom than I had of mine. Very painful. It was a time of mourning and sadness at the fact that she wasn't who I would have chosen. She either wasn't there, or when she was there, it wasn't all flowers and lollipops. It was hard. There are many, many women who have given birth to children who were not prepared to be a mother of those children. There were also, everything is growing and everything is evolving. And we have learned so much about so many things that people before us did not have access to the knowing. I believe personally that Oprah Winfrey single-handedly changed so much of the psychology of people during her time because she brought forth things that many of us never knew. No one knew that there was such a thing as postpartum depression. This was something's wrong with this woman. This woman gave birth to this baby and can't even seem to be focused on this child and giving this child attention. This woman doesn't seem like she even loves or cares for her children. She is just walking around all sullenly, like she's not happy. In fact, that the birth had made her sad. No one knew she had postpartum depression. It was never acknowledged. So how she was seen was either as a crazy woman, a callous woman, a mean woman, and God help her children. There were so many things that people did not know that we have been privy to having the knowledge of. And so today, as we were approaching Mother's Day, I was really thinking about this idea that I've been speaking about thus far, about how we all have a different mother. And I asked the Spirit, what can I say that would be universal for all of us? It, it would be interesting if we all had the same birth mama, if we all had the same woman who gave us birth, but that's not the case. So what, if any, is the mother we all share? Instantly, I knew who she was. I know who the mother is that we all share. She has been called Gaia. She has been called Mother Turtle. She has been called the Source Planet. She has been called Mother Earth. This planet, this beautiful blue and green marble spinning in space that has given rise to life in all its form, she is the mother we all share. And of course, once again, each of us has our own experience of her. I know many, many people that when I ask the question, do you ever pause just to marvel at the beauty of the world? And they've told me, not really. Why do you? Oh, all the time. Really? Why? Oh, because she's worth marveling at. The beauty of the world is just striking. She's mind blowing. And they say, well, not for me. Do you ever pause to look at a tree as though you've never seen a tree before? I remember being a little boy, and that was one thing that my daddy would teach us. He said, sometime you ought to pause for the cause of looking at something as though you have never seen it before, because otherwise you will pass a tree and you won't even take notice of it. Because after all, oh man, I've seen thousands of trees before. What do I need to pause and look at a tree for? But if you pause and look at a tree as though you have never seen one before, it will blow your mind. If you pause and look at a stream as though you have never seen a stream before, it will blow your mind. If you take 3 to 5 to 7 minutes of your day to lay on your back in nice weather and simply observe the ever-changing clouds that are coloring the sky and presenting an ever-changing show, a display. If you don't look at the clouds as though you have never seen clouds before, you are missing something. Taking time to marvel at the beauty of the world. She is our shared mother. I can remember back when there was a successful landing on the moon, and two of our astronauts were able to get out of that capsule and put their feet into the dust soil of the moon. Oh my God. When Kennedy talked about it and said we were going to accomplish this, who the heck believed him? Who thought such a thing was possible? Oh, they're going to fly a ship to the moon, and dudes are going to be able to step out of that ship and land their feet on the moon. Yeah, right. I believe it when I see it. And suddenly the whole wide world was seeing it on film. Oh my God, man has walked on the moon. It was the talk of the town in every town. It was in every newspaper and magazine. Everybody was blown away by this miraculous thing that had happened called man walked on the moon. I can remember that one day, I don't know who it was. I believe it was a poet and a philosopher that informed all of us who would listen and get it. He said to us, yes, it is mind-blowing and wonderful and amazing that man has walked on the moon. But check this out if you dare to get it. It is even more powerful. It is even more amazing. It is even more mind-blowing that you are walking on the earth. Take notice. Please don't fail to notice. You are walking on the earth. Think about some of the pictures, the photographs that you have seen of the moon. It is a barren land. It is a barren planet with dust and craters. There is no greenery. There are no streams and rivers and oceans and mountains and hills. There are no puddles to splash in when you're a child. Think about how amazing it is that you have been gifted to be born to walk on planet Earth. And if you dare, if you will just allow it, what will really blow your mind is if you lean into more and more and more and more every day in every way, marveling at the beauty of this world, the mother we all share, the mother who sustains us, who gives us the water we need to stay alive, the food we need to stay alive. She provides our shelter. She is a mother worth applauding. She deserves a standing ovation from all of her children. Some take her for granted. Some take living this life for granted. Some people don't ever pause to say, thank you, God, that I have legs to walk upon this beautiful blue and green marble. Some never pause for the cause of looking at a single thing about her as though you have never seen such a startling thing before. I remember that my mom, she taught us phonetically how to read. All of her children could read the newspaper by the time we were 4 years old. She made sure that that was going to happen. Education was so important to her. And we would read the newspaper taking turns with different sections before breakfast every day at the breakfast table. And periodically we would get to a word that we didn't know what it meant. And she would say phonetically, try to spell it out. And I can remember one of us going, con, queen, conquency, conquency, these, no consequences, baby. Consequences. Okay, say it. Say it. Consequences. Say it again. Consequences. Look at the word so that the next time you see it, you'll know how to say it. What's that word, Carly? Consequences. But what is the consequences, Daddy? What's the consequences, Mom? Well, a consequence is something that happens because of something else happens. Is, for instance, when you are behaving really well, one of the consequences is that I will give you a half of a stick of juicy fruit, and then you will be able to watch whatever you want to watch on TV for 1 hour that evening. On the other hand, when you're misbehaving and I can't get you under any kind of control, the consequence is that you're either going to get sent to your room, or a consequence is that you're going to get a paddling on your behind. Oh, now I know what a consequence is. It's something that happens because of something that happens. Yeah, you got that right. And so phonetically, I can remember back being a toddler, and I can remember Mom pointing at a tree that was in our front yard, and she was teaching me how to say what it is. And phonetically, I would see the word T, T, T. Okay, R-E-E, re. Okay, say the whole thing. To re. And if you see 2 or 3 of them, what are you looking at? To re's. Okay, look up in the sky. See them fluffy things floating by? Yeah. Look at the word. Okay, Mama, sometimes you said a C makes a S sound and sometimes like a K sound. Okay, in this case, Carly, it's going to be a K sound. Okay, k, clouds. Okay, right now say it whole thing, clouds. I have fun sometime when I look at a tree or look at a cloud by going back to being a toddler and pronouncing phonetically the way Mama taught me. So when I look at a tree in my yard, I'm saying, man, I'm just going to stare at this tree for a while. No, I go, I'm going to stare at this tree. Now I'm going to look into the sky. What am I going to stare at? The louds. I've shared that with some of my friends over the year, and I have friends that leave me voicemails and say, "Oh my God, I spent 7 minutes just looking at a to breathe." And we giggle and we smile, and it's like one of our little fun things that we do. Marveling at the world is essential. I would love to do something, but I want to ask your permission because, and I'm cool either way. Sometimes I don't know how long I have been talking when I'm just letting the Spirit speak. And I don't take notice of the time and how much more there is to give in the service. If this is a good time, I would love to share what Jesus shared through me 2 or 3 decades ago. I think he shared it with me at a time where I had forgotten to stare at a turtle as though I'd never seen one before, or a cloud as though I'd never seen one before. He had noticed that I was in a period in my life where I was consumed by the things and the challenges of the world, and it had drawn my attention away from remembering how blessed I am to be walking on earth with an opportunity to marvel at her beauty. It is a 10-minute read, and I read it and had it recorded as the meditation for my sermon at Unity of New York. And so right about now, I'm probably on a big screen there, concluding my sermon, and then the screen will darken, and then images will come forward of this beautiful blue and green marble, and my voice will present what Jesus gave to me decades ago. It is called Marvel at the Beauty of the World, and I will proceed because I do believe I saw a nod from Deborah. So within 10 minutes, I will be finished at the conclusion of this read. You might want to close your eyes rather than just look at me on the screen and just receive what I was given to extend. Marvel at the beauty of the world. Do not forget to marvel at the beauty of the world. Its beauty is splendorous, her every shape and color, its every shadow and light. Live the moments of your life alive. Be startled, moved, and quickened at the beauty of this world. Live your life on highest purpose and with deepest, endless gratitude and thanksgiving. For the gift of life is life itself, and what a gift it is indeed. Don't wait until your time of dying to know that each breath, each moment of living life is the greatest gift of all in all the heavens and on earth. Cherish every breath. Be awake and aware in every moment to the truth of your remarkable opportunity to love it all. Every minute, every encounter, every ever-changing frame of the movie, every chapter, every page and paragraph and sentence of your story called my life. Live before you die. Live well before you die. Awake from sleep and vow to keep the promise you made before you were born, that you would be alive and startled and delighted and learning and growing and singing and dancing to the rhythm of a heart beating alive inside you and breath breathing in and out of you nonstop, faithfully, endlessly. Keep the promise you made before you were born that you would never take for granted your eyes with which to see, your legs with which to walk, your ears with which to hear, your mouth with which to talk and to shout out praise for the speechless awesomeness of simply being alive and living in the land of opportunity, your very own opportunity to have it be what you say it is, and to go on to prove that what you say it is in fact what you say it is. You rejoiced at being allowed to be alive and living right here and right now. And you promised you would live each moment in the moment and not wander into past moments and made up memories of their joys and sorrows, or into fantasies of what may come, things you hope for, or things you fear. You promise to be here now in the here and now, marveling at the sheer wonder, the sheer magnitude, the sheer variety, the sheer amazement of the world all around you, everywhere you turn. Awaken the child who arrives so full of promise and promises, the child who won the race for life and cried out at its birth, I am, I am, I am. Return to the place of astonishment and amazement. Find this place within you. Awaken the sleeping beauty that you were and are and will forever be in the true being of your true being. Keep the promise you made before you were born, that you would be an authentic self, blessing others to do the same, that you would teach peace by being peaceful, and love by being loving, and oneness by your consistent displays of all inclusiveness, and that you would marvel at the beauty of the world. Resurrect your sleeping awareness of the astounding, speechless gift it is to be living out the never-ending, never boring, always thrilling, sometimes scary, sometimes funny, sometimes dark, and sometimes sunny pictures of moments of now, 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 now. A hero's journey, your being alive, your life on earth, just as it is. A hero's journey, your being alive, your life on earth, just as it is. A hero's journey, your being alive, your life on earth, just as it is. You asked for it. You were granted it, to love it, to live it. Laugh when it is your time of laughing. Cry when you are moved to tears. Move when you are able. Rest when you are weak. Sing love songs and praises and songs of mourning and the blues. Let your strengths delight you and your weaknesses as well. Love your whole complicated, composite being self, your beauty marks and blemishes, your thrills and agonies. Judge none of it. Love it all. Embrace the whole of it. Proclaim your innocence. Accept your guiltlessness. Acknowledge your freedom. Your captivity is over. Stop taking things so seriously. Relax. Be gentle. Have fun. Giggle more. Don't carry the weight of the world on your shoulders. This is not your job. It is not your responsibility. It is beyond your capacity to carry or to determine or to control the weight of the world. Release it. Let it go. Relax your shoulders. Deepen your breathing. Lighten up. Row, row, row your boat gently down the stream. Merrily, 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 merrily. Life is but a dream. That's all it is, you know. Deep down inside, you know. You fell asleep in heaven. You dream yourself on earth. And you call this being born. And you were born to live your dream alive and filled with wonder and to marvel at the beauty of the world. So marvel at the beauty of the world. Let it be what it is, because just as it is a thing of majestic wonder and delight. Cast new eyes upon the world and let it cause your soul to sing. Cast new eyes upon the world and let it stir your heart to weep. Sing and weep in startled wonder and in joyous thanksgiving to life's creator for your endless reasons to be amazed in the moment. This lifelike dream you're living is but a brief walk through a garden of delight. Marvel at the beauty of the world. Amen.